guys, how's it going? It's your boy Dora here, and welcome back to
Hello
another
there.
video. I'm with Nitro again.
Hey dude, how's it going?
And today we are reacting to... I've not actually looked at the title. We are reacting to 10 greatest police chases of all time. Okay. Before the video starts, the merch has arrived. Hooray! Hooray!
Beautiful.
Oh, I just almost undone my shorts there. And... Hooray! So that's all the merch, guys. Well, it's not all of it. There's still some on its way. But yeah, guys, link in the description. Go and get your merch. So yeah, let's start this video.
Off he goes. Oh, and he's fucked up.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's still going.
Crazy police chases don't just exist in video games and movies. The police have to always be prepared to chase down criminals, even if those criminals have some pretty creative ways of evading capture. Whether their vehicle of choice is a convertible, an RV, or a skateboard, they figure out how to keep running for as long as they possibly can. And whether
Like
they're
that
a
charge is
hardened
going to do
criminal
anything.
or just a little kid, police are going to have to find a way to pull them over. Let's take a look at some of the greatest real-life police chases of all time. Some criminals think that in order to beat the police, you have to become the police. This was the case for one man who was chased by police after he decided to steal a pickup truck. He crashes the stolen truck in the desert in a cloud of sand and jumps out, using the confusion to his advantage and taking off into the bush. It looks like he...
Surely they would have Air 1 or whatever it's called.
Well, he's being watched. You can see he's being watched.
Yeah. I know, but that's from the...
From the news, yeah. But...
Surely you would think there'll be an Air 1, at least.
Maybe. There'll be something around to figure it
out.
out.
Or hide from the police, but what he does instead is wait for the officers to start chasing him and then double back. He heads toward the abandoned police cruisers on the side of the road, completely unnoticed by the officers. And lucky for him, they left their keys in the ignition. Helicopters watch as he takes off in the stolen cruiser and even passes by other officers on their way to lend backup who think he's one of them. But eventually, they catch on to him once the car is reported stolen, and he's finally cornered and taken into custody. But we're sure it was a strange day for the officers who got a lot more than they bargained for by having to chase down their very own patrol car. A woman by the name of Caitlin shocked Texas when her police chase turned into a family affair. The 29-year-old was caught speeding down Route 90 at 100 miles an hour after cops tried to pull her over on outstanding warrants. The woman knew she was wanted, so she thought her best chance at freedom was a high-speed chase down the highway. But it turns out that she wasn't the only one in the car. After her Mercedes SUV crashes into the back of a pickup truck, she jumps out and retrieves her baby, car seat and all, from the back seat. Then she dashes across several lanes of the busy highway, avoiding cars with her baby still in hand,
don't do that.
and tries to steal herself a brand new ride. But carjacking can't be so easy with a baby in tow, and she's apprehended by police before she can even get the car started. The baby, thankfully unharmed, was carefully removed from the car and brought somewhere safe.
That's good.
I mean, at least the baby's safe, but Jesus.
You don't dangerous drive with kids in the car. What are you doing?
What were you thinking, huh?
I've got an idea. Let's just speed 100 miles down the thing. We won't crash. Oh, crashes. Did she even check the way when she got out? Take the baby out and call it a day.
Julianne Rainbird was struck trying to evade police in an RV after they tracked her down for identity theft. Rainbird bought the RV with an identity she'd stolen. So when the identity theft was reported, the police were almost immediately on her tail. Police approached the RV first.
Wait, I think I've seen this. I think a dog jumps out.
It's obvious that it was difficult for her to control the large vehicle and that she was in a completely panicked state.
Yeah, I think our dog jumps out
Unable
somewhere.
to weave through traffic, she smashes into at least 6 cars and a palm tree, causing more and more damage to the RV.
Yeah, look, there's a dog.
But she continues to drive even with gaping holes in the vehicle. Turns out she wasn't the only one in the car
I've seen this one.
She brought along her 2 furry friends. At one point, her dog seemed to have
you see,
enough
it jumps, see?
Don't worry,
no!
Furry friends. At one point, her dog
watch this one.
off and decides to jump out of the vehicle. Don't worry,
He's
the
fucking
dog
had enough.
ended up being just fine. But a second dog appears, and it's clear he wishes he'd jumped out too. The RV finally comes to a halt, and Rainbird decides to run on foot. But she's quickly outrun by the police and taken into custody.
Well, of course
and
she
her
would.
dogs, the unwilling accomplices to her reckless driving, were taken somewhere safe.
It's the dog's fine.
War
It's not
Thunder,
nice.
the military online
Adverts.
action game, has received this year's first major
No
update.
free brand deals. Get lost.
Running from police in style seems better reserved for games like GTA. But two burglars in Los Angeles thought that they should turn being chased by police into a star-studded moment. The two men drove down Hollywood Boulevard in a Ford Mustang convertible and were seen pulling donuts, dancing in the seats, pumping their fists in the air, and just genuinely having a good time as police chased them for about an hour and a half.
Why are they not fully convertible though? Why is it like still halfway through the process?
I don't know, but probably because they're running away. But that just reminds me of GTA. Mad.
Their chase even gained a number of followers.
To the car, you got that's the me.
Yeah.
As people live tweeted the event as they watched them speed down the busy boulevard. The chase lasts all the way to South LA, with the two men soaking up the attention the whole time, before they finally pull over to take some selfies with fans as they wait for police to catch up. It seems like the duo wanted to go out in style as they complied peacefully with the officers when they arrived. Do you think you'd try to take advantage of your 5 minutes of fame too? If you ever ended up in a police chase, let us know in the comments. A crash that could have ended very violently went on in Phoenix, Arizona.
Ooh, dang.
21-year-old Mitchell Timothy Tybalt tried to avoid capture after police tried to stop him for a moving traffic violation. Instead of pulling over, he speeds up, and police are forced to use stop sticks to try and slow him down. But he avoids them. He speeds, and then starts to exceed 100 kilometers per hour. The police try to box him in, but that doesn't work either. He rams a patrol car and veers off, picking up even more speed as he darts away. Obviously, he had to slow down at some point, and cops were just hoping he wouldn't collide with another driver. But of course, all this concluded in a head-on, high-speed collision between Tybell's red SUV and a black SUV. Black smoke fills the air, and things don't really look good for either of the drivers. Tybell's vehicle even rolls a few times before coming to a complete stop. But amazingly, after such a high-speed accident, Tybell is uninjured, as is the driver of the other vehicle.
How is he uninjured from that?
He doesn't look fucking uninjured. Look at that.
How is he uninjured from that? He would not be uninjured from that. His car rolled.
Jesus.
Like 3 miles by itself.
He was then taken into custody and
Look,
driven
he's
off
just
in a
chilling
patrol
there.
car at a much slower speed.
Oh, I'm fine, mate.
A man
he's
who
limping
stole
a
a
little
lumber
bit.
truck and took it on a joyride through a town gave a whole new meaning to the term hot pursuit. The man was chased by police after he stole the vehicle and started doing donuts on a busy street. He was also waving at people and seemingly enjoying his ride as pedestrians cheered him on. But despite how much people were enjoying the show, the vehicle was dangerously swinging across the highway and blocking traffic.
No shit.
Moments away from causing an accident. When police started to pursue, things got a little too hot for the driver. One of his tires is shot out, and he loses control of the vehicle. The back of the truck starts to catch on fire, and the flame continues to grow as he continues fleeing. Flaming debris even starts to roll down the highway as it flies off of his vehicle. He's eventually brought to a stop and taken out of the vehicle before the fire can spread. But it's a pretty close call. If anyone on this list was happy to have police pull him out of his vehicle, it's probably this guy. Some car thieves don't even prefer cars as their main method of transportation, such is the case of a man in Los Angeles who was chased by cops after stealing a BMW sedan. The driver speeds through red lights and weaves through traffic to avoid capture, but he eventually crashes into the back of a vehicle stopped in traffic. But that didn't mean it was over for this thief. He figured that leaving the car behind and using another means of transportation was the best bet. The man hops out of the BMW with his trusty longboard in hand. He runs into oncoming traffic and hops onto his board once he reaches the sidewalk, riding it for about a block before he has to run into traffic again. His joyride is then thwarted by the driver of a pickup truck who blocks his path, allowing police to finally corner and capture him. Turns out that the pickup truck driver was actually a bit of a celebrity. It was actor Lou Pizarro, who starred in the true TV show Operation Repo. So at least this guy had a pretty cool story to tell in jail. A drive through some wide open spaces might seem like a fun time, but we're sure it was stressful for this Oklahoma driver. A man in a stolen truck took police on a chase through country roads and then wide open fields when they tried to corner him. The driver seems to have some fun at first, even pulling donuts, before another vehicle pulls up and shoots at the truck.
Oh, fucking hell.
Panicked, the driver takes off through the fields and then ends up driving straight into a pond when trying to reverse away from the police. He then clumsily gets out of the vehicle and trudges through the water as fast as he can, which is not very fast given the swampy conditions. The police have some trouble following him in, but he's eventually caught and put soaking wet into the patrol car. We're sure that he didn't imagine his day ending in such a sinking situation.
1.
In the past 7 days, we've made over $200,000 in sales.
No, you haven't.
You don't have to be an experienced driver to be the subject of a police chase. You don't even have to have a license or be of legal age. Like this 10-year-old Ohio boy who was taken into custody after leading police on a high-speed chase that ended when troopers boxed him in along the Ohio Turnpike. But this wasn't even the 10-year-old's only joyride. A second chase took place just 2 weeks later, and this time the boy was more evasive. He drove onto a grassy berm at a slow speed to avoid the officer's stop sticks. A trooper was able to gently nudge the vehicle into a post with his cruiser and block his getaway. And the child was thankfully unhurt. So why would he take his parents' car out for a joyride in the first place? Well, the first time he told officers that he was just bored. But the second time? Yeah, that's because his mother took away his PlayStation. Talk about a temper tantrum. That Ohio boy was not the first or the last kid to get arrested for taking his parents' car on a joyride. What about these two kids who found themselves getting a talking to by the Portage police chief for reckless driving and endangerment? Not even tiny children in their tiny cars are above the law. But all jokes aside...
Yo, if I was the police chief, I would not want to be driving that.
Well, that's his police car. It's his work car.
I would not want to be driving that.
Why not? It's an undercover police car.
No,
paid for by the government. That's not his personal car.
No, look, it's not undercover.
Cars are above the
law.
You can see it's undercover because it's not got the roof lights. It's got the lights in the front dash.
Driving and endangerment. Not even...
So,
look,
you
see?
drive on...
See?
Oh, right, yeah. Yes, inside the door.
Children in their tiny cars are above the law. But all jokes aside, some really
Oh,
young kids have been involved in police chases. Like this 9-year-old driver and his 4-year-old passenger, who were pulled over for the second time while driving a car they'd stolen from their parents. A 911 caller reported that the vehicle appeared to be operated by 2 young children and that they were not able to keep the vehicle in the correct lane of traffic.
No shit.
A Washington County Sheriff's deputy responded and was able to intercept the vehicle about 3 miles away from the location of the initial 911 call. While he was in pursuit, the 9-year-old drove the vehicle into a ditch. Thankfully, he wasn't going very fast and no one was hurt. But we hope that this is the last time that these two siblings decide to drive themselves to Grandma's house. So what's your favorite entry on the list? And have any of you ever been in your own real-life police chase? Or maybe you were the cops doing the chasing? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more great content.
Subscribe to Dora. So Nitro, what do you think of that?
That was quite good, wasn't you? Dropped the car because his parents took his PlayStation.
Yep. Do
you reckon his parents took his PlayStation because he took out for a joyride 2 weeks earlier?
Probably.
He's just not to do it again then.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a police chase, car chase, chasing anyone?
Of course not.
Fair enough. I haven't
I'm a
either.
respectable human being.
Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to end it there. Obviously something different. This one wasn't as, I'm going to say, as funny as the last reaction video we did. But yeah guys, make sure you guys check out the merch. It'll be the top link of the description. And then it'll be followed by Nitro's links. He needs to post again. So maybe go over to this channel and tell him post. But yeah guys, it's been Dora and Nitro. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and peace. See you later.
In a bit.